Hello and welcome. My name is Florian and I will show you what it means to live in e-Estonia, probably the most digital society in the world. Of course, there are many aspects to this story, and we will go through the key points in this 10-part video series. To get the full picture, however, we invite you to book a visit at the e-Estonia Briefing Center in our beautiful capital, Tallinn. But before we can talk about e-Estonia, let's talk a bit about the Estonia that exists in the physical world. Estonia regained its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991 and quickly pivoted west, becoming an avid EU and NATO member in 2004. Estonia is located by the Baltic Sea. Its closest neighbors are Finland, Sweden, Latvia and Russia. Today, forests cover around 50% of Estonia's territory, while the other 50% is packed with beautiful cities, bogs and beaches. As I tell you more about how e-Estonia works, bear in mind that even for this nation of digital trailblazers, the path towards digitalization has been a long and challenging one. Nowadays, 100% of government services are accessible via the internet 24/7, whether you're on your laptop or mobile phone. In 2022, submitting a marriage application online through the e-population register became possible. And by 2024, the final government service, divorce, was digitalized. Estonia was also the first country to introduce internet voting in national elections and offer e-residency for people across the world. And yes, Estonia is leading in many global rankings concerning digitalization. I'll give you a few seconds to look at these examples here. Still, this level of digitalization was not always the case, and it didn't entirely come out of nowhere. Already in the 1960s, Tallinn became one of the main hubs for computing. 3 years after restoring its independence, the Estonian government then signed its first draft policy on digitalization. That decision seems like an obvious one today, but back in the early 90s, it really wasn't. Estonia took a huge gamble that the internet would take off globally, but thankfully it did. A few years later, key components of e-Estonia were introduced, primarily the Estonian version of the X-Road that enables secure internet-based data exchange between various public and private sector information systems, and the electronic ID card that would enable citizens and residents alike to use the ever-increasing number of government services online. But we will talk about these things in greater detail over the next few videos. So, what will we be discussing? Well, there's a lot of ground to cover. We will have separate videos on the 3 cornerstones of e-Estonia, namely e-identity, interoperability solutions, and cybersecurity. Whatever your specific interest in other topics, I highly recommend you watch those videos first to understand the fundamental structure of e-Estonia. Beyond that, we will touch on many crucial topics: healthcare, e-governance, mobility services, education, business and finance, and the world's first e-residency program. After the initial decision to go digital, the legal architecture had to be prepared to take data privacy and protection into account. The various parties were fully aware that if citizens would lose trust in the security and privacy of their data, the whole endeavor would be at risk. Nowadays, Estonia has built its international reputation on digitalization as well. So you can rest assured that the government works very hard to keep the citizens' data safe. Another important factor for e-Estonia is user-friendliness. Estonians of all ages use the different services online because they solve problems in a simple manner. Almost all people file their tax declarations online, which includes people from all age groups. But while easy-to-understand user interfaces are crucial, education also plays a role. Starting in the late 1990s already, several programs worked to bring computers and internet connections into every single school in the country, to educate future generations, but also to make sure that the elderly are not left behind. To this day, vocational schools offer free state-run computer courses to teach basic IT skills. But of course, no information society is ever complete. Estonia continues to work on new solutions and initiatives to make life easier for everyone. So as you can see, there are many factors that need to be taken into account before you can even think about the actual services that you might want to offer online. So buckle up and enjoy this video series about e-Estonia.